All right, here we are starting chapter 5 on human aggression and violence. So, we're going to start off with defining aggression, then look at the types of aggression, the effects of media on violence, and the theoretical perspectives, which is the most of the chapter. Okay, so aggression. We kind of know what it is, but it might be difficult to think of a definition. Um, but it is the basic ingredient in violent crime. However, not all aggression is violent. So, um, oftentimes we might need to be aggressive to survive. And we'll talk about a lot more different ways that aggression can be instrumental, for example. We're going to look at, once we get to the theoretical perspectives, different ideas or theories that look at if aggression is instinctive, so like the monkeys or the rams here, even the shark and the dog, is that something that we are just born with? Is it instinctive? Kind of part of us evolutionarily? Is it biologically there, like we learned with the warrior gene, or is it learned like social learning theory? Okay, so defining aggressive. It is a behavior that is either actually carried out or it's attempted, and it's intended to harm someone in some way. So this could be psychological harm or physical harm or both, or destroy an object. So you can be aggressive towards an object and that would still be aggressive even if it's not towards a living thing. So it's important to understand our relationship to violence. So violence is aggressive, but not all aggression is violent. So a good way to think about it is like spreading rumors that could ruin someone's reputation. That's not violent. Speaking words is not violent, but it is a form of aggression. So violence is aggressive, but not all aggression is violent. And with malicious rumors as well, it's a good example of not all aggression is necessarily criminal. And we'll see more examples of this as well. All right, so there's going to be several different like typologies of aggression that we're going to go through. So hopefully we can keep things separate. So for Buss's varieties of aggression, there are 3 different dimensions. So we've got physical and verbal. So physical, hopefully, is pretty easy to understand, as is verbal, but hitting or punching would be physical. Verbal is like saying mean things about the person to their face or behind their back. Active versus passive. So am I actually doing something to their face? Am I performing some action? Or am I withholding some action? So passive can be a little bit confusing, but like I'm refusing to get out of someone's way. It could be a passive. Direct, so I'm going to directly say something to someone's face. I'm going to call you a name to your face, or am I going to do it indirectly? I'm going to spread rumors about you behind your back. So I'm not saying it to you, I'm saying it behind your back. Okay. Next, we have hostile versus instrumental. So we're going to start off with hostile. Different underlying motives for aggressive behavior. Again, hostile versus instrumental. So what is the purpose of hostile aggression? I love this little girl pulling the other one's hair in that face. So aggression is the end goal. You want to harm the other person, and that is the whole point of it. So usually this is an example in a homicide. So you are intending to kill the other person, or you're intending to rape the other person. The whole point of it is to inflict harm on the other person. This isn't all the homicides and all the rapes and all the violent crimes, but let's say you are intending to kill your spouse because they cheated on you and you want to get back at them, or whatever it might be. So the purpose of it is to inflict harm on the other person. It's hostile. The other type is instrumental. So instrumental is, it's a means to an end. So if we're looking at football, we're not just being aggressive to be aggressive. You're using that aggressive action to make the play, to stop the score for the touchdown, things like that. Or perhaps you're using aggression to get something else you want, like money. So the intentional harm is done for the purpose other than to inflict harm. So the point of it isn't to hurt the other person. The point is to get whatever out of it you want to. So for football, again, the point of it isn't to sack, not the point of it is to sack. The point of it isn't to hurt the other person physically. The point is to stop them from moving, and you just have to use the hurt, the force to get them to stop. So some examples like robbery. So I'm going to be aggressive in order to get the money. If the money would just be handed to me, then I wouldn't need to be aggressive. But because that's not how the world works, I'm going to use aggression in order to get what I want, which is money. Okay. So it could be the same behavior, could be either hostile or instrumental. So it's not necessarily that the behavior itself is one or the other, it's the reasoning behind the action. So do you want to hurt the other person on purpose, or are you using it to get what you want, which is maybe a material good? So the action is spreading rumors. This could be either hostile or instrumental. So think of a reason for hostile aggression, why you would spread rumors about the coworker. So go ahead and think about it. Why would you spread rumors about your coworker for hostile aggression? Okay, so one reason might be that you really just don't like her, and you want to hurt her feelings. So that would be hostile. You want to actually hurt her in some way. Instrumental, on the other hand, would be you want to spread rumors in hopes that maybe the hiring person would hear or her boss would hear, and that would lead to her getting fired or demoted, and you would get that position. So I'm going to spread rumors to get what I really want, which is her job. So do I want to just hurt the other person, or do I want to gain her position, or perhaps it could be both? All right, violence now. Destructive physical aggression intended to harm other persons or objects. So it's physical aggression and destructive, and there's intent there. I don't know what that box is. On my end, it's supposed to say maybe, but for some reason it is a box. So maybe methodical or random, sustained or fleeting, intensive or uncontrolled. So in determining criminal responsibility, the law doesn't really care about if it's hostile or instrumental aggression. The only point is, did you do it or not? Perhaps with sentencing that might come into play, but that's not exactly getting charged with the crime. Getting charged and convicted isn't going to be the same as maybe the reasons why. Again, maybe in sentencing, but in terms of getting charged and convicted of a crime, the reasoning behind the aggressive action doesn't always come into play. All right, we'll stop here for this video.